Alright, I guess we're going to be talking about more Dragon Ball Z.
This is your path to be. We're all here just for all the fun. Now you're jamming, jamming hard, yeah. Hype it up all once again. Hype it up. Now you're jamming, jamming hard, yeah. Hype it up all once again. Hype it up.
Alright, so for those of you who don't know, since my last Dragon Ball video started so well by talking about Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, I thought we'd talk about the following Dragon Ball Z movie, Resurrection F. So for those of you who don't know, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, or Dragon Ball Z Fukusatsu no F, is a Japanese sci-fi fantasy martial arts shonen movie and the sequel to Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, and it is the 19th movie overall in the Dragon Ball franchise, well, the anime, but it's also the 15th movie based on Dragon Ball Z, all of which is based on the Dragon Ball manga, which ran from November 20th, 1984 to May 23rd, 1995, written and illustrated by Akira Toriyama, known for Sandland, Dr. Slump, Dragon Quest, and Blue Dragon. This film was theatrically released on April 18th, 2015 in Japan, and it is the first Japanese film screened in IMAX 3D and received screenings at the 4DX theaters. The film saw a very limited theatrical release in North American theaters between August 4th to August 13th, 2015. Madman Entertainment released the film in Australia and New Zealand theaters between August 6th and August 19th, 2015, and Manga Entertainment released the film in the United Kingdom and Ireland on September 30th, 2015. The film received mostly positive reviews from critics who praised the quality of the animation and the fast-paced action scenes, although receives the story and the plot overall did receive some criticism. So, the overall synopsis of Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F: Frieza is reborn and achieves his latest transformation. Only up until chapter 87 of the Dragon Ball Super manga, but we'll probably get to that maybe if it ever gets adapted. So, it's all up to Goku and the Z Fighters to join forces to fight this new resurrected enemy. So, if you guys have not seen Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, come off the video right now and probably find it streaming on Crunchyroll, Netflix, I don't know, maybe if you got the DVD or Blu-ray lying about somewhere, or you could probably find it in a box set somewhere, which usually gets bundled up with other Dragon Ball Z movies. So without further ado, spoilers ahead, so we're going to get straight into talking about Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. So the movie starts off with, honestly, a very nice tour around Hell, or in the censored version of DBZ, Hiffle, the Home for Infinite Losers, where we see a flower garden almost similar to the one in Dressrosa from One Piece, but we're not here to talk about that great series yet. Where we find our favourite racist tyrannical space warlord Frieza, who has been imprisoned here. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Pilaf trio, being Emperor Pilaf, Shu, and Mai, encounter some of the remaining soldiers of the Frieza Force. They gather up the rest of the Dragon Balls because the trio were already trying to hunt them down, and Shenron gets summoned to the leader of the Frieza Force, Sorbet, and wishes for Frieza to be brought back to life. Despite the fact that it works, Frieza is summoned in pieces because Shenron claims that he cannot put them back together and asks them for their second wish. And for those of you who don't know, since Dende took over the role as Earth's Guardian, and he managed to give the Dragon Balls one extra wish during the Majin Buu saga. Anyway, Shu from the Pilaf gang intervenes and wishes for some cash. Shenron drops a little pile of Zenny, and then just turns around and goes, The Dragon Balls then scatter around the world again, and the Frieza Force wanted to originally bring back King Cold, but then obviously missed that chance. Meanwhile, Gohan and Piccolo picked up an increase of energy and noticed that it disappeared, making them feel uneasy. On the Frieza Force's ship, the best scene in the whole movie in my opinion actually plays, which I probably might just play right here.
It's gone now. Wonder what that was about.
Something tells me we're in trouble.
After honestly the most decent introduction of a character that we haven't seen in a while, Frieza realizes what's left of the Frieza Force and decides to train. A few months then pass, and Jocko arrives on Earth and tells Bulma that our favourite Freezy boy is on his way. So Bulma calls Krillin with a One Piece in-joke.
Why is Bulma calling?
The other Z fighters then show up, but Goku and Vegeta are actually on Beerus' home planet training with Whis, who hints on the possibility of fusions, because this movie is supposed to be set before the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 saga, and also for the Hope of the Future saga as well, which isn't adapted yet until around the same, well, a few months after the movie came out in the Dragon Ball Super anime, only to make the two Saiyans work together. Frieza then finally lands on Earth and then gets some nostalgic feelings by looking at how much Gohan, Krillin and Piccolo have grown over the years since their last encounter on planet Namek, which to date is still the only actual canon introduction of Frieza, if you don't count the other Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball Z specials and episodes and movies. The Z fighters then fight Frieza's army, and we then get a little showcase of everyone's abilities, until Goku and Vegeta finally arrive. Goku tells Frieza to just stop being a whiny little bitch and use his full power. So Frieza then transforms into his final form, and Goku just starts throwing hands. After a little while, Goku just turns around and is like, fuck this, no more holding back. And then we get our first actual look at Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Or, if you want to be a dick about it, according to Dragon Ball Super, it's just Super Saiyan Blue. Frieza then gets a snide little remark in there by saying, "Ah, what is this? Super Saiyan with blue-haired eye?" Frieza then stops being a petty little biatch and transforms into Golden Frieza. Then Goku and Frieza start throwing more hands. And to be fair, it is a pretty actually... It's an alright fight. Like, it's pretty good. Not my favourite fight in Dragon Ball, but mind you, but it's still a pretty good fight. Then Vegeta decides to tag in only because he sees Frieza's weak point, just like what Goku mentions during this conflict as well. So basically, it's like when Goku went into Super Saiyan God back in the previous movie, but his body wasn't actually fully used to that level of power, meaning that his body will, meaning that Frieza's body will give out so then he will lose that transformation. So it's basically like Frieza's equivalent of Super Saiyan God, in a weird sense. Meaning that Frieza's body hasn't gotten 100% used to this transformation. And it's the same thing with Goku when he fought Beerus in Battle of Gods. Since Goku's body wasn't used to having this much power, he dropped from his God form to a mere Super Saiyan in the fight against Beerus. So yeah, Frieza then loses his golden form and starts bitching and then blows up the entire planet, killing himself along with Vegeta and the rest of Earth. But luckily Goku, Bulma, Whis, Beerus and the other remaining Z fighters are saved, all thanks to Whis. Whis then reminds us, back from the beginning of the movie, that he can rewind time but only up to the previous 3 minutes that just happened. So we then get back just in time before Frieza blows up the planet, and Goku then jumps in to immediately still Vegeta's kill. So it's a very big F for our short Saiyan King right there. But yeah, literally after some more bitching here and there, the movie literally just ends. That's it. That's literally the entirety of Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F in a nutshell. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about the characters. Well, there's only one character really to talk about, because if you want to know what my opinion on towards the other Dragon Ball characters, go back onto my Dragon Ball Battle of Gods video, where you guys can get my more in-depth look on the main characters of Dragon Ball. But there's not really much to say about the main characters that I haven't mentioned already, especially regarding Goku and Vegeta. But I will give my thoughts on the Super Saiyan transformations that we got. So Super Saiyan Blue is an alright transformation. It is obviously supposed to be the Super Saiyan version of Super Saiyan God. Because when you actually turn the filter down to black and white and you look at the transformation itself, it is literally almost the same, like in design, to just regular Super Saiyan 1. But anyway, the only character that feels like worth talking about, let's be honest, in this movie is Frieza himself. So Frieza, voiced by Ryusei Nakao in the subbed version, and then voiced by Christopher Aries in the dub, since the original voice actor Linda Young stepped down since Dragon Ball Z Kai, for reasons we'll probably never know, because it has been varied on different people's theories and ideas over the years on why we've never had Linda Young come back. But pretty much since then, yeah, Christopher Aries has taken over the role of Frieza since since some point in Dragon Ball Kai up to now. Well, up until 2018, to be more precise. But yeah. Yeah, Frieza has not really changed much in personality since his debut during the Namek saga, but he's still our favourite tyrannical space warlord that he is. Like, we wouldn't have it any other way, let's be honest, because he is the most fan favourite villain in the series. Like, I guarantee, like, you ask any Dragon Ball fan, I guarantee you, a good majority of them would probably say that the best villain in Dragon Ball overall as a whole is probably going to be Frieza. So next, the only thing I believe that's worth talking about is music, but the only song that I actually consider worthy talking about is the main song that was made for this movie, F, which is written by the Japanese metal band Maximum the Hormone. But first of all, I want to get something out of the way quickly. My first introduction to Maximum the Hormone was actually through the second opening of Death Note, What's Up People, but we're not here to talk about Death Note. So yeah, the song F definitely does slap harder than a fucking belt from a stepfather. But yeah, it's a song that's perfectly that represents how evil Frieza actually can be, with the heavy guitar riffs and the vocal tracks and the lyrics. Especially when you see the music. Well, I say music video. When you see like some of the AMVs that have put out of Frieza, I guarantee you probably will hear the song. But regardless, it's a great song no matter what, and it's the best song to use if you're going to reintroduce one of the most iconic villains in Dragon Ball's franchise. So my overall verdict of Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. It is not the worst Dragon Ball movie by far, let's be honest. I have seen way worse things come out of Dragon Ball since, well, I started watching anime and getting into this. But yeah, like, fucking, like, yeah, it's definitely not the worst Dragon Ball movie in the franchise, by all means. I would say, like, arguably the worst ones would probably be, like, Bio Broly, Dragon Ball Evolution, Broly Second Coming, you know, some of the lesser Dragon Ball movies, overall. But this movie definitely is the weakest of, especially the current canon Dragon Ball movies. Yeah, Resurrection F, I do feel like, is the weakest of the four we currently have at the moment. But if you're a fan of the franchise, you obviously got to check it out at least once. I mean, I did when it came out, and I was really excited when I did finally get to see it, because this was my first actual experience seeing Frieza on a bigger screen. Like a new version of Frieza that has never been seen before, that wasn't just a remake or a redo or anything like that. But yeah, I would say it's probably somewhat, you got to check it out if you've watched Battle of Gods. But then again, it comes down to the obvious thing with, you either got to watch this movie, which is barely an hour and a half anyway, or you just watch episodes 15 to 27 of Dragon Ball Super, which covers pretty much the same arc, just with added filler and extra bonus scenes as well. So yeah, those were my thoughts on Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. Not a big review like Battle of Gods, mostly because I don't really think very highly of this movie, by any means. But I might actually cover the other two Dragon Ball movies in the franchise, obviously being Dragon Ball Super Broly and Dragon Ball Super Superhero. But other than that, that's all I can say. So please make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell so you guys will be up to date on everything I upload onto the channel. And don't forget to go down in the description down below where you guys can find me on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the different shit I upload on every now and then. Although I am more actively on my Twitch. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, I live stream as regularly as I possibly can, but if you miss the live streams, do not worry, because I upload those live streams straight onto YouTube as soon as I actually am finished. So, other than that, love you guys, and don't forget, join the Big PP Nation.
Free the free, the free, the free,